Hey everyone, the new retail sales numbers for October came in last week and they reiterate sustained positive economic momentum. Despite all the headlines we see about supply chain disruptions, labor shortages, and inflation, retail demand remains strong. Now, bear with me for a moment. I want to cut the data a few different ways to make a point. If you look at just core retail sales, which omits auto and gas sales, they're up 14.9% from last year and up 20.9% from pre-pandemic levels. And even when you account for inflation, core retail sales are still up 10.8% from last year and 15.7% from before the pandemic. My point is, no matter how you slice the data, retail sales are way up, the strongest on record. But as many of you know, a big piece of the retail sales surge was online. It was e-commerce. Internet sales are up 10% from last year and up an amazing 40% from pre-pandemic levels. So many investors perceive that e-commerce drove the lion's share of the gains. But if you cut down to just the core brick and mortar retail sales on an inflation-adjusted basis, they're up significantly. They're 9.3% higher than a year ago, and they're 13.8% higher than they were before the pandemic. Think about that for a minute. In the second quarter of last year, as we entered the pandemic and we shut down our economy, there was tremendous speculation that retail would be severely impacted. And it was. Numerous retailers were hard hit and several closed permanently because of the pandemic. But now, as we come out the other side, the retail sector has more tailwinds than headwinds, and in many segments, there are fewer competitors. To reiterate, store-based core retail sales are up by 13.8% from pre-pandemic levels on an inflation-adjusted basis. To back that number up, I want to point out that foot traffic at retail centers has fully returned. In August of 2021, the most current full month of data available, foot traffic was only down from the same month in 2019 by 0.1%. So what's this mean for commercial real estate? There's two property types most influenced by retail sales. Obviously, retail properties are the most affected. As of the third quarter, the overall average multi-tenant retail vacancy rate for the US was back down to 6.3% after peaking at 6.5% in the first quarter of this year. To put that in perspective, the retail vacancy rate was 5.6% at the end of the fourth quarter in 2019, and that's for multi-tenant centers. The average multi-tenant asking rent in the third quarter was up 3.1% from the fourth quarter of 2019. So yes, there was some trauma in the retail sector, but it was not nearly as bad as anyone thought it would be, and we're seeing a retail bounce back that should carry positive results into 2022. The other property type influenced by retail sales is industrial warehouse. Industrial space demand has benefited from both increased retail sales, but also retailers need to maintain additional inventories due to the supply chain disruptions. As of the third quarter, industrial vacancy rates were at a record low 4.4% on a national level, and rents are 10.3% higher than they were in the fourth quarter of 2019. So as most investors know, industrial is doing very well, and the prospects for 2022 remain strong. As I frequently point out, real estate is a long-term investment. The COVID-driven softening and ensuing recovery of retail properties reiterates why investors have to take a long view and, of course, keep their eyes on the horizon.